Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friends and Music Podcast. Today, I'm sitting with Xander and Peaches. Xander, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself? Thank you for having
I'm
me on.
Yeah, man. Of course, I'm glad we finally took the time to do this. I'm really honored to have you here, and I'm really excited for you and for people to, if they haven't already, because I mean we've shared your music, but if they haven't already, to check you out a little bit more because it's been cool to see, like, right when you started the band, we got connected, and to see how much music you've put out, how much work you've put into it. So I'm excited to talk about that today.
Hell yeah. Appreciate that.
Of course, and I said that we're joined with Peaches as well. So can you tell everybody who Peaches is?
Peaches is my bird. She is a sun conure, and you may or may not be able to hear her chatting it up on my shoulder right now. She is
Yep, right on
angry
cue.
with me now.
Right
Thank
on
you.
cue. I love how she turned around right when you said that, and she said, "What you say?"
Oh my God, the attitude on this little lady.
She's always with you, though, huh?
Uh, for the most part, I mean, we can't really take her out because she is not. Her wings are not clipped, so
Okay,
the
yeah,
fear of her flying away is there, and I
definitely,
don't
yeah.
want that.
Wouldn't want that to happen for sure. But could you
No.
imagine the people around where you live seeing that type of bird? That would scare them. That's a really pretty bird. Like, that's not a pigeon.
I see so she has a cage that's right by a window, and we will always constantly see other birds. There she goes. Just fly up and look at her like, what the hell is that?
That's so funny. They tell all their friends they come to your windowsill. They're like, "Look at what's in
Yeah.
there," and she's back.
And she'll be in and out. She wants a treat,
So,
I'm sure.
I mean, we're gonna talk about Peaches. We have to talk about Peaches for a while.
Mhm,
Is she
mhm.
gonna ever make an appearance in one of your songs?
Well, that was the idea a while ago. I really wanted to do some, parrot metal.
Yeah.
Um, she is constantly vocalizing along with like music that I've made that I am just playing around her. And then as soon as I hit record, she flies away.
Interesting. That's funny. She knows.
I don't know how, but it seems like she must. The timing is just too perfect.
Yeah, I saw like when you started posting videos and Peaches was on your shoulder. I was like, there's that band Hatebeak, and you need
Yes,
to do like the same thing. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
that was exactly. And there's this one Instagram account. She goes by Reebs UK. She has an
Okay,
African gray parrot, and she's doing the exact same thing as them too.
that's awesome.
And we're like, yeah, I had promised her that I would send a video when she just was
She's training right
ready to
now.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe that was the issue with the microphone before recording. Maybe it was Peach's fault. She doesn't like mics, huh?
it seems that way.
Um, so I'm a big Blink 182 fan, so I was figuring maybe you can do Blink songs and call it Beak 182.
That's awesome. That's so perfect.
I
Who's
did spend
doing
some time
Tom's
think.
part and who's doing Mark's though?
Well, you're gonna be Tom. She's gonna be Mark, right?
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
All right. So we need to introduce everybody to you. I mean, we talked about your band, which we're going to circle back to. But again, you're Xander. You're involved in the music scene. You do a lot with it. What got you into music?
So I've been playing music pretty much my whole life. I started with piano lessons when I was real little, like 5 years old. And when I eventually got way that like started feeling like that was too tedious for me, I wanted to switch to bass, but ended up going to guitar. Don't really remember how that ended up working out, but I loved it, and I thought for a while, up through high school, that I was going to be a professional musician,
Okay.
and realized that pretty quickly out of after dropping out of college that I was not going to be making enough money doing that.
Yeah.
So I started working full time as a sound engineer after taking a course at a studio that I was interning at.
Cool.
And I fell in love with that, honestly. I still do love mixing. Uh, and I have so much fun doing it with my own stuff. Like, I never had thought prior to maybe 6 months ago that that was even a possibility.
Yeah.
Um, but I just kind of went for it, and like songs started being finished. And yeah, just loving every second of it now.
Cool, man. And so, where did you grow up?
So I grew up just outside of Philadelphia in
Okay.
it's called Bucks County.
Okay.
And that's where I am now. Uh lived like in the city for a little while, and
So I only been to Philly one day. Like I went out for Warp Tour last year. So before Warp Tour, we went to a Phillies game. Traveling,
mm,
like it didn't work out, so we didn't really get to spend as much time as we wanted to. We went to an Amish market, walked around there, got some food, got some cheesesteaks at the ballpark too. So like that's it. That's my experience. So what's
that
the
must have been
music
the
scene?
most expensive cheesesteak in the world.
It was good though. It was actually better there than it was at the market beforehand. I
That's
I,
kind of
for,
upsetting.
I forget which one it was. It was good, so it was worth it.
Mm, okay.
So,
Yeah,
what's
I'm
the
trying to think.
Philly music scene like? And was that the scene that you were part of? Because I assume you said you were really close to there. So, was that where you were going to shows growing up?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And the Philly music scene is incredible, honestly. Like, you have so many good underground acts, as well as just and like of all varieties, but like especially in like the punk
Yeah,
and emo variety, like which is right up my alley.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, man, it's thriving.
yeah, for sure.
Uh,
What venues like are big out there that you would go to?
so I've gone to Johnny Berenda's quite a few times.
Okay,
I like a lot of the stuff that they put on. Ortlieb's is really cool. Trying to think of some others. It used to be called the Electric Factory, but it's now called like the Franklin Hall Music Center. I don't remember what it
okay,
is now. It's
yeah,
it's a worse name than it was.
okay. Yeah, I would love
But
to go out there, experience the music scene, go to a show. Like a lot of good bands have come from there. I mean, when I think Philadelphia, I think the Wonder Years because they sing about it so much.
mhm,
How do you feel about that band? You a fan?
I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. I slept on that band for years. It wasn't until
Okay.
like a year ago that I actually started listening to them.
Yeah.
And dude, I love their sound.
Yeah. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They've progressed musically, like they've changed entirely, but they've grown. Like that's what I
Yes.
guess I should say. They've grown as a band and as musicians, so it's pretty interesting. What other bands are out there that you like or people should know about?
All right. I've like a pretty long list, so I'm gonna
Oh,
try to only name a few.
okay. So let's see if you
Um,
can do it in one breath. Take a deep breath and throw as many. Just kidding.
all right. So yeah, I'm gonna list them off as I have them. So one,
Cool.
the Black Dahlia murder.
Oh yeah,
Or I grew up on them, and
yeah,
was really saddened a year or two ago to find out that their vocalist had passed.
yeah.
Um, Thundercat, uh, absolutely just like such an amazing musician and so weird in all the best ways. um, Back into the more like hardcore vibe, Born of Osiris. So they're a little more like technical than
Okay.
Black Dahlia, but
Yeah.
still that very like melodic. Um, then I want to get into Mindless Self Indulgence, who
Yeah.
super formative for me. Like the album If is like top three all time for sure.
Nice. Nice.
Um, Tool, James Blake, Poppy,
Poppy's from
and
out there.
what's that?
Poppy's from out there.
Oh shit! Are we talking about bands from here? I thought we were just talking about bands that I liked.
Y-
I
we can do both. I'm curious. Yeah, like I
okay.
want to know who shaped your music, like inspiration, influence. So you're answering that, but I also want to know like if people haven't been out to where you're from, like what bands from there should they know about?
Okay. So let me double back, and we'll touch on that later. What I was talking about, but So a lot of people don't know that Erica Badu is from here.
Okay.
Uh, I do want to plug my brother's band. He is in a
Which
band
is
called it's called 13 Cavities. They are God, I always butcher the genre. It's ska punk core. It's
okay.
something like that. Um, they're a lot of fun, and I highly recommend checking them out. They are
I,
just starting to get like gigs around the city, and they'll be at the Fire, I believe, in on April 24th.
all right.
Um,
I do have a question about that because that's like a very specific band name. Did one of the band members have 13 cavities at one point?
yes, and that is exactly the inspiration behind the name.
Man, it is paid for that doctor's child to go to college because that right there, man, that's a lot of cavities at once.
It was the bassist, I believe. And yeah, he said he walked out of the dentist and immediately texted the rest of the band, like, I finally figured out the name.
That's amazing. I mean, it sucks for him because that's a lot of cavities. I thought I had bad teeth. I've never had 13 at one point.
No, 13 is way too many. And yeah, I've had, I think, three, and those were all awful because I hate getting fillings. I
Yeah,
have a phobia of the dentist.
a lot of people do. Understandable.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily like fear the dentist, but like I have such a small mouth and I'm not okay with people working in my mouth. So I know I
I'm
am
the
a
same way.
complicated patient. Yeah. I know I just bug them and it's hard for them. So I have to find a patient dentist for sure.
Yes.
So shout out to all the patient dentists out there. We appreciate you.
Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah. And it sounds like 13 cavities, instead of like taking like a sound person with them, maybe they should just take a dentist with them.
Well, at least the bassist should.
Yeah,
As
for
far as I
sure.
know, Aaron's mouth has not been that bad. I lived with him for a while. He's my younger brother.
Yeah. You know a thing or two about him.
Yeah.
So yeah, any
Um,
other local bands? I mean,
so
coming from your
there's
area?
one more for sure that I want to mention, and that they go by Air as Human. They're sort of like a post rock. Uh, it's almost like Jojo Mayer, if you're familiar with him.
Nope. I'm sorry.
He's like a Swedish breakbeat drummer.
Okay.
But yeah, again, very like post rock kind of vibes, but mixed in with like almost like Metal Gear Solid style 8-bit kind of stuff and horn sections, and it's really cool.
Cool. That sounds like a very versatile, lot of sound coming into one band.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like
Um,
somebody else I know,
I
which we'll
wonder who
get
that
to in
could
a little
be.
bit.
um, as far as local acts, I haven't been to a lot of shows lately, so I don't want to say like a band's name that doesn't exist anymore, just like to be safe.
You can, I mean, it's fine, dude. Like if there's still, if there's still music or if it's somebody that likes, at some point, please feel free to share it with us.
And to be honest, I'm drawing a blank right now.
You're totally fine. What about, let's go back to inspirational bands. Who else
Yeah.
inspired some of your music taste?
Um, so I think I left off at Poppy.
Yep, you did.
Are you familiar?
Just a little bit. I mean, I haven't like I've only listened to maybe like two of her solo songs or,
Totally fair.
her band. I mean, I found out about her when she uh played with the Arf band.
Mhm.
That's how I saw when she was on Jimmy Fallon. So,
Okay, okay. Her solo
or not
stuff is
Fallon.
really cool.
It was
It's very like musical ADD, yeah, much like what we were just discussing.
yeah,
Yeah, to go from like doom sludge metal to like J-pop in an instant.
yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
impressive. To have that vocal range for sure is impressive.
seriously, yeah. Um, are you familiar with? Well, I'll go the more obvious one for me, as far as like formative, especially Linkin Park.
Yeah,
Um,
never heard of him.
I mean, I don't feel like I need to say a lot. You can listen to their music and listen to my music and see exactly what I took away.
Yeah,
right?
that's definitely fair to say. I mean, they are such a unique band and like very influential to a lot of people, and they open the door to people trying different things in music where it's like you don't have to take just one sound and roll with that sound, which I mean, now we're at a time where that's happening more and more in
Exactly.
hardcore and punk and metal. Before, like when I was growing up, like you had to pick a genre and you had to stick with that. And if you didn't, you were a sellout or you were a poser or, whatever. But now you can be those things and it's accepted in a lot of ways, which is really cool.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely know Linkin Park. That was very much a middle school band of like what is this? Like they're a little bit more aggressive. Like because I went from Blink 182 style music to Linkin Park and System of a Down and I mean Papa Roach at that time, Disturbed, right? So like
Yep.
Linkin Park was cool because they weren't just angry all the time and they had like fun sing along, but then they had the where they could tear it down and go
It had
hard.
that like 2000s nostalgia, like you get from like Jimmy Eat World
Yeah,
or even Blink 182.
yeah, for sure. I do wish the Linkin Park Blink 182 tour could have happened, but we know why that didn't happen. But yeah,
Yeah.
Lincoln Park would have been fun. But yeah, I moved here to Arizona right after Chester Bennington passed away, and holy cow, man! Just with him being from here and
Yeah.
the local community, just that's all anybody talked about for quite a while.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I can imagine how like man, what a shitty time to move in.
Yeah,
Also, am I okay to curse on this podcast? I
that's
never
up to you, man. My mom's gonna listen to this, so don't embarrass yourself in front of my mom. Just
I will
kidding,
do
she
my
doesn't listen.
best.
She
I'm
doesn't listen.
so
You're fine.
sorry.
You're totally fine. If so, that's a fun thing to talk about. Let's talk about that for a second. Like little background on the podcast, if that's okay. I'm going to take your time and make it my time now.
Please
You can
do.
you can just take a nap real quick if you'd like. Because people
We'll
don't
see
get to
how the
see
story
like
goes.
yeah, well, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Peaches is already asleep. Um, so people that don't see the background of the podcast, I send everybody like an overview beforehand so they can look at the potential questions that we may talk about. So that, they're kind of prepared. But I also say like you can talk about your band, your business, anything that you want to talk about. Make sure people have a platform to discuss that, and then it's up to you. Like it's up to the person. If you want to cuss, you go for it. We make it explicit. If you don't want to, if you want to make it shareable with your parents, your family members, or if you're worried about a future employer finding this and using it as blackmail, I just go off of your lead. So now the people know that's how we decide to do things. It's up to the person being interviewed.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
of course. I mean, this is your time to talk about yourself, your passions, your projects. Like, I mean, I'm taking from it right now, but really, it's just I want to make this so you have something that you can share with, your friends, your family, potential fans. Um, yeah,
well,
it's your
I'll try
time.
to keep it strictly necessary cussing if there's going to be any.
That's a good title. Strictly necessary cussing. I like that. I was thinking we can
Yeah.
call yours the shit word. Um, I'm writing down potential titles. All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Both of those are contenders as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so we left off with the depressing Chester Bennington passing. Was there any more Lincoln Park you wanted to?
No, I think, like I said, if you listen to Linkin Park and you listen to my music, you can see where the influence is. I definitely took a lot from their sound and that raw emotion that they brought to it.
Yeah,
And yeah, just really appreciate those guys. They really did, as you said, like sort of make it acceptable to do more than one genre, which awesome.
I do think I'm going off the top of my head here. Chester Bennington has an 18-second scream, which I think yours that longest one you have might be like 8 seconds. So I mean, you gotta work on that
I got some work to
18-second
do.
scream.
I've never actually timed my screams.
I mean, you have one
Huh.
that went a little while. You got some lungs, dude.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm definitely working on it. I'm practicing just about every day on that.
So yeah, any other bands you want to mention?
Yeah. And actually, oh my God, there is one more from Philly that
Let's
I
hear it.
totally spaced on mentioning, and she goes by Jasmine Sullivan. It is her name.
Yeah.
She's sort of like a soul R&B singer, but she's finally getting some like real recognition on the scene, and I am really glad to see that because she is so incredibly talented.
Cool.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, just like vocal range that like I didn't know was possible. And while still having like that bassy undertone, just
Nice.
really impressive.
So with all these bands that you've talked about, if you could join one of them, which band would you join and what would you contribute to that band?
Probably
To make it be
Tool,
Pat.
and I would
Okay.
contribute nothing because they're already doing it all, but I would be
Yeah.
really, really excited to be there.
Yeah. Would you want to be their vocalist though, or a bass player? What would you want to do?
I think I would either want to play bass or guitar, um, just because I can't really hold a candle to Maynard James Keenan. I don't think
Yeah.
he's got he's got that charisma and like just is a little less shy about putting stank on his voice than I am.
But I mean,
um,
you said you're working on it. You can do
I
it.
am working on it, but he's got a few years on me, so.
Yeah, just a couple.
Another one that I actually mentioned in this list, but who would be so much fun to either do vocals or guitar on, is this band called Saint Aurora.
Okay.
They're sort of like post punk from, I think they're also Swedish actually, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, they have this really clean production sound. It's almost like what you'd expect from Sleep Token, where it's
Cool.
like really clean for metal, but in this case post punk,
Yeah.
and like just so much aggression that like is filtered through perfectly. I don't hear a lot of like post punk bands with that type of production, and it's really really cool.
I like that. And um, it seems like you pay attention to the genre styles of bands a lot. What's your favorite style genre?
Oh man, like choosing between children. Um,
We're not killing any of them.
um,
It's not choose your favorite child. It's just which one's your
that's
favorite.
fair. That's fair. I guess it would have to be like the melodic hardcore like deathcore kind of scene. That
Okay.
is definitely where like I take the most inspiration from as far as like my guitar work and like where the shape of my sound like starts in each of my songs as far as writing process.
Yeah.
It just yeah, it speaks to me the fastest and easiest.
Gotcha. And how important is it to you that people get genres right when they're talking about either your music or music that you like? Like, does it bug you if
With,
people get it wrong?
with my music, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
I I guess it would bother me if it was like really wrong,
Yeah.
like if you were calling Tool country
They're not.
or something like that. I'd be like, what are you talking about? But aside from that, like, yeah, that doesn't bother me at all.
All right. Well, you brought up Tool one more time. Do you want to hear my Maynard story?
Yes, I do.
It's not my story. It's a secondhand story. So right before I started this podcast, friend of a friend, like kind of a guy that like I knew, really good guy. He lived next door to my friend, and so I was outside working on my truck at their house one day, and he came out and he's like, "Yeah, I heard you're really into music." And like this guy, if you look at him, like you'd be like, "Oh, he likes music, but not like I go to shows or like I have music stories, right?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I do." And he's like, "How do you feel about Tool?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I like him a lot. Like they're a band that's been around, so like obviously know them, but I was like, I don't personally like have a lot of love towards them, like, not saying anything bad." And I was like, but like, that's kind of a weird band for you to ask. Like, you don't look like a Tool fan. And he's like, oh, like I am. Like, I've known him since the beginning. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I went to high school with Maynard. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, so tell me some stories about that. And he's like, well, he bit my ear. And I was like, what? And he's like, we were on the wrestling team together. And he's like, I had him pinned. And so for him to get out, he bit my ear and it worked.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd probably let go.
Yeah. And so after that, and after Tool made it, a lot of people would ask this guy, like, "Hey, where's your high school? What not graduation? What's those called? Reunion? Like, where's that going to be?" And so he's like, people would
Yeah,
always try to use me to get to Maynard. He's like, I got so sick of it.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So that's the one Maynard story I got for you.
Yeah, I could see him biting someone's ear.
Who did it first, him or Mike Tyson? We'll have to find out.
Hmm. Well, if it was back in high school, I think he's 60 something now.
That sounds right. Sounds about
So, so I
close
would say
to.
it was probably Maynard who did it
He
first, right?
started it, man. You heard it here first. Maynard started
Yeah.
it. And so
Breaking news.
to go back to genres, I feel like it's the appropriate time to discuss some genres. So
Sure.
punk, we have to talk about punk. What's your definition of punk?
So that's really tough for me. I would say anything that is fast and distorted
Okay.
and is, saying something. That, like, generally with punk, I think you're trying to say something, right? Like you have like a political thought or a philosophy that you want to spread, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say like that's the important defining line. And like punk, I think does encompass quite a few genres of music.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, you have your traditional like British punk that we all think of when we hear it,
Yeah.
with the mohawks and the, you know. But I think that as we were sort of talking about before, with how music has sort of been branching out and not being confined to a genre, it has sort of taken a wider meaning.
Definitely. I agree with that. And you haven't brought it up yet, but emo. What's your definition of emo?
Emo, I would say, can fall under the punk category, um, but it's it's exactly what it says it is. It's about emotion,
Yeah.
and I think if that is the focus of your songs, like your mental state or your emotion, then that fits under the category of emo.
For sure. And I think maybe by this point, people are sick of me asking these same questions, but it's interesting how people sometimes will be like, yeah, like, I like what so and so said. I heard them last time, and so like I agree with that, which is fine. Like you can piggyback off other people, but nobody has the same answer, and that's why I keep going back with it. And that's why I like it so
Absolutely.
much. Like emo, is interesting to me. Like I like it. There's a lot of bands that fall into that category, but it's not like it's my favorite genre at all. It's just interesting to me to see how different people's answers are, and then
Right.
so I just decided recently we got to throw Screamo in there because that one is one that will start fights amongst people. So yeah,
Ooh.
what's your definition of Screamo?
Oh God, the first one.
You are the second one, so I'm really trying to get
Second.
everybody to attack you.
Oh God. Okay. I mean, is it a cop out to just say like if you listen to my music, there's some screamo in there,
I mean,
and you can decide for yourselves?
that's a great way to get listeners. Like, just plug it, man. Just plug it all day.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. It's in there. I swear, you'll find it, and like you can tell me what screamo is.
How about this? Let's do this. If you're gonna describe Screamo in one of your songs, which song would you say?
Hmm. Kindness or weakness.
Okay.
The That part leading up to what I guess we'll call the chorus,
Uh huh.
and the chorus itself. The the vocals there, I think, make that screamo.
All right. I do like now we're jumping ahead, but I really like the song "Scorched Earth" a lot, and I don't know if
Oh,
that's
thank
it.
you.
I don't know if that's what you would say would fall underneath that description, but we're talking about your songs right now, so I'm throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Okay.
It falls under a few other categories as well. Like there's hip hop in there. I think there's punk in there.
Yeah.
Um, but absolutely, there's elements of screamo.
I was
I'll give you
talking
that.
I was talking about it in the last episode with Sean from Les Palms, and what I really like a lot in music right now is like the same thing I like in movies. Like I like going to a movie and not being able to guess the ending or the outcome of the movie, right? Like
For sure.
because Hollywood's made it, where you expect a happy ending, or the guy gets the girl, or the wrestler wins the match at the end, whatever it may be, right? You're just like, well, this is going to end happy. And so now a lot of people are taking steps back and kind of doing a little bit more plot twist, whatever. And that's what I like in
Yes.
music is I like when a music or a song starts a certain way You're like, okay, cool, this is interesting, and it starts building up, and you're like, okay, where's this going? And that's what like Scorched Earth is for me. Is like it starts one way and then
Awesome.
takes a turn, and you're like, whoa! So you're pleasantly surprised. It catches you off guard, but I like that. Like that's how. I mean, like some bands, like what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a
Yeah.
breakdown, right? Or there's gonna be a guitar solo, or there's gonna be whatever it may be for that band. But I like songs that you're like, all right, I want to hear the next one because what are they gonna do with the next song? So
I appreciate where you're coming from there, and like especially thank you so much for saying that about Scorched Earth.
yeah, of course.
And I try to keep it interesting.
And yeah, we're jumping ahead for sure. We got to go back. But I will say this real quick is that you threw a few songs up there at the beginning, and now like going back and looking at your Spotify, there's a lot more. So good job for you, man, putting so much music out so fast and taking time to make sure that it's it's ready to be released, and then putting it out there, like not sitting on it. Like thank you for giving us music.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for appreciating it. It is my pleasure.
Of course. So let's take a step back and get to your band. Let's talk about that. So you
Okay.
told me you had piano lessons, you got a bass, you got a guitar. Did any of that lead to you playing songs in high school, or how old were you when you started learning piano?
So I was probably 5 years old
Holy
when I
cow!
started that.
I couldn't even talk
Yeah.
or tie my shoes at that point. You're playing piano, dude.
Well, I was starting to learn. I'm sure that I wasn't actually any good until probably like 9 or 10.
I thought for sure you were going to say, "Well, I was a genius," so that explains it
No,
all.
good God, no. I'm still not a genius, just for the record. uh, I I kept a little bit of what I took from those lessons. Like it was so long ago, and I definitely lost some of that muscle memory when I took my hiatus from playing keys.
Okay.
Um, but I think in a lot of ways that helped me, like because having shortcomings to work around can actually help creativity.
Yeah, definitely.
And no,
I,
no end. That was it.
okay. I'll piggyback off that real quick. If that's okay. Is I was thinking about myself the other day. I've been working around a lot more bands recently, and it's discouraging because I never learned music theory or anything like
Mm,
that. So um, the last thing I just worked, which was really funny, was Chubby Checker. Right, like I'm not trying to be mean. I didn't know that guy was still alive. The guy that sung the twist, like he's still around, man. And holy cow, his energy is great. Like he jumped around on stage. The funniest part was, the last song. Of course, he closed with the twist, and it was probably like 15 minutes long. Like the band just keeps
of
playing
course.
the same song. Like it's just keep repeat, repeat.
Back Dakota. Back
But
Dakota.
he keeps bringing all these ladies up on stage with him, right? So at one point, there's like 30 ladies on stage, twisted in with him, and and like like a few minutes into it, there's these two older ladies that are just like out of breath, and they just excused themselves and got off stage and went back to their seats. It was so funny.
I'm glad they were able
Yeah, they
to.
were fine. As far as I know, everybody made it out alive. But
That's the chubby checkers guarantee.
I get there, I set up the drum set. It seems like his band is his normal touring band, except for the saxophone. He was local. He came in and he played just that show. And so I was just thinking about like professional musicians that can just learn music, show up, and play it, right? Like you have to be so good at what you do to be able to do that.
I got an uncle who can do that. That's who I was taking lessons from when I was 5 years old.
Cool.
He can sight read like he can read.
Wow.
It's insane.
Good for
I,
him.
I don't understand. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's not me.
Yeah.
I tried for many years to get at all good at reading music. And I mean, there was a point when I was maybe 6 or 7 years into playing piano that I was actually able to sight read a little bit. I've lost all of that. Once I saw that guitar tabs existed,
Yeah, for
no
sure.
more no more reading music.
So I was
uh,
gonna go ahead.
uh, I think I was just gonna say, like, I do hear what you're saying though, like with when you see other bands who are so like technically gifted, it makes you feel very insecure about, right, like your own. I'm speaking for me, of course, not for you, but about your own knowledge and abilities because you feel like, you know, this is why they're professionals. Like, should I be here?
Yeah. And that's how I
And
feel is like when I see myself as a drummer, I'm like, I'm a caveman, dude. I just hit things. That's it. There's no knowledge, dude. It's just me drum, me play, me hit hard, me play fast. That's it, right? Like I don't know what I'm doing. Or like sometimes people are like, how did you learn how to do that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, that's really intricate. And I'm like, I don't even know what any of those words mean that you're trying to describe what I just did. I just do it, right? And so but the positive, and I want to hear your opinion on this, is like because I haven't learned music theory or I haven't learned like how a song should progress, is I don't put myself in a box and I don't put rules on what I'm doing. And so like I'll
exactly.
do things and people are like, oh, that's really interesting and that works. And I'm like, okay, again, like I just do it, right? So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that that actually can make a difference?
Uh, Music theory knowledge or just doing it?
Just
I'm
doing it,
sorry.
yeah, just doing it, just doing the
Yeah,
Nike theory.
absolutely Nike all the way on this one because that is my exact situation. After dealing with that insecurity for years on end and feeling like I don't have what it takes to do this for real, I eventually a voice in my head said, "Why not?" And I just started doing it, and I didn't think about whether or not I was doing it the way I should be doing it because there
Yeah,
is no should be.
yeah.
Like there, it's art, and art is one subjective, and two, like it's yours at least until you put it out into the world, and you know, as long as you're creating, you're doing the right thing. I think.
I like that. That is a great quote right there. Thank you for that.
No problem.
So, but I mean, ultimately, what you're saying is that I'm a terrible drummer and I shouldn't play anymore.
Only if I'm also saying that I'm a terrible producer.
No, you're not. Don't turn that
Thank
around.
you.
That was supposed to be on me. Don't turn that around.
Well, you're talking to the master of that, but
All right. So, your uncle taught you piano, and then yeah. So, when were you in your first band?
so that would also be high school, or
Okay.
that would be high school. We were called Decepticon, and we played one show,
Sick.
and it was at Croc Rock in Allentown.
Nice.
And yeah, it was a really cool venue, out in the boonies. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But like, we never really like got together to rehearse or anything. And like, we had one guy in the band who wrote all the songs, and we would learn them on our own time. I think we rehearsed one time before the show, and like it went terribly, as you might expect. And we didn't talk to each other for a while after that, and that was kind of the only band I really joined up until like starting this project.
Cool. Okay. So let's talk about this project. We've been dancing around it for a while.
Okay.
Please tell us about your band, your project, how it started. I mean, take the time to fill some time to say whatever you want about it.
Okay. So the name of the project is Synchronic. I started doing this for real, probably like I said about 6 months ago. I just kind of had a melody in my head, and I had recently gotten a computer that was actually capable of recording something,
Nice.
and like it was just for fun, I wanted to get that creative juice out somehow, and I do draw as well, but like that wasn't really scratching the itch,
Okay.
and yeah, I started feeling what I was doing, and then all of a sudden, like before I knew it, I had like 3 or 4 songs done.
Nice.
And to give everybody an idea of what my sound is like, it's kind of like if Slipknot, Linkin Park, and Kendrick Lamar had a baby. Is that is that fair?
Sure. Yeah. I was like, I wonder what his
um,
third one's gonna be. I like that.
so yeah, like a lot of raw aggression and emotion, but trying to keep it melodic and listenable, while still trying to also be able to be a little bit challenging, whether it's lyrically or musically. And mostly it's just I play what comes to mind. My playing is definitely way above my theory level. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like I have the muscle memory to play stuff, but I don't necessarily I couldn't tell you what I'm doing half the time.
That is something I relate to, so I get that.
Um but yeah, so started putting releases out in January of this year. Put out I'm gonna call it a double single. It was Scorched Earth and Kindness or Weakness, and they came out as Spotify classifies it as an EP, so I guess I will too.
Okay.
um, and since then, I think I've put out 8 or 9 more songs, and there is a full length album coming out in August,
Is there a specific date or is it just in August right now?
August 31st,
Okay. Well, August
and that will be
31st.
called The Signal.
The Signal. We will definitely share that when it comes out. But luckily, we don't have to wait. You have music. It's on Spotify. Is it everywhere? Or is it just
It
on
is
Spotify?
everywhere.
Okay.
Yep.
I just use Spotify,
YouTube
so
Music,
yeah.
all that.
So Synchronic, we will share more music. We've shared his music before, but we'll make it easy to find so everybody can listen to it. But there is songs, guys. You don't have to wait till August. Please go listen to
You
it.
don't? Nope. And there might even be 2 or 3 more coming out in the near future that are going to take the form of remixes.
Oh, cool. You already remixed it. I like that.
And it's not a remix of my own stuff. I do actually I want to mention there's another artist I've been working with lately. She goes by Sugar Synth.
Okay.
Um, you may or may not have seen me mention her a couple times on
Yep.
Instagram. Her music is crazy, and there are 2 remixes that I did of 2 of her songs that will be coming out in 4 days,
Nice. Soon.
very soon. Yeah.
So those will already be out. By the
Uh,
time this episode's up, those songs will already be out. So if you want to make
oh
sure
yeah, that's right.
if you want to make sure we share those ahead of time, we can, or if you want to wait till the release of this episode, you let me know. We'll do it however you want to do it.
Oh yeah, no, that would be awesome if you guys can do that ahead of time. That's great. Thank you.
So when you were describing your music and making it, you said that you like to make it listenable or you think about making it listenable. How much thought do you put in music of like, I want somebody to be able to enjoy this? And is it more that, or is it more like, this is what I want? This is what I like, so just deal with it. Where do you draw the
It's
line
definitely
there?
well, maybe not so much just deal with it, but it definitely does fall a little more along the lines of the latter, where like I'm definitely writing what I want to hear.
Yeah,
You know, like if I'm not going to listen to it, then why would I want to play it?
definitely.
And yeah, absolutely. I think I'm absolutely open to feedback. You know,
Yeah,
like if somebody says like I think here if you maybe hit a high scream instead of a low scream, and like I'll
okay.
think about that at least, and
Yeah,
I don't have any problem with doing it like that. If I also think that it's gonna sound good.
all right. I like that. And I mean, that's something that's so hard for artists in any capacity is how much are you doing for yourself and how much are you doing for somebody to enjoy? Or you're like, well, I want to make a career out of this, so I have to put thought into somebody actually going to take time to buy this, to listen to this, to participate in whatever way that you need them to. So that's a hard line, and that's a hard balance to find.
Yeah, and I think for me, at least to this point, trying not to think about it that way honestly has gotten me pretty far because like the second I start thinking about it, like what are other people going to think about this, I start getting a little too into my own head and I get a writer's block.
Yeah, I get that. And
So yeah.
I think for me, like to take a step outside of music to describe this was when I took a few classes in college and I was paying for it, so I tried really hard, right? Like it was my money on the line, so like I wanted to make sure I was getting out of it what I could. But then there's social aspect of like your friends want to hang out, you want to do things, right? So there was one class that I was just struggling with. It was a 3 credit class, or no, 4 credit class. It was a lot of work. It took a lot of my time. And then so I was like, all right, well, like I think in the long run, like I'm not going to benefit from this class. So it's just like Friday the homework was due, so Friday I'd get on the computer and just rush through it, and I would just do it, right? But my grade
Yeah.
went up. Like instead of going down because I wasn't spending time studying and doing it, my grade went up because it's just like you just have to do it. You just have to put the result out there. You're not second guessing yourself. And so like sometimes that's what it takes is just do it. Do what feels right and then commit to it. Because I think sometimes when people spend too much time in the studio, it gets overproduced. There's too much sound. And then you're like, okay, like there's a lot going on. I don't know what you're trying to go for. And you're like, what happened? And then you hear the scratch track and you're like, that's it right there.
That was what you wanted right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It's a hard line to walk, but like I think for most artists, thinking about it too much or doing something not out of your own sensibility, but because you don't want to offend someone else's sensibility, that's the death of your art,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I mean, I've been there and I've talked about it as like, kind of where I was at in a band, like location wise, right? It's like, well, do we want to play what we want to play or do we actually want people to come to our show? Because if we play what we want to play, no one's going to come because no one's going to like it. So how do we change it or how do we tone it down or how do we make it just at least approachable in some aspect? And so like that's a hard balance.
And I am lucky in that this is a solo project. I don't have to balance it with other people's sensibilities as much, right? Like
Yeah.
that is definitely something that is a much bigger hurdle if you're in even a two-person project or
Yeah.
more. So I guess I can consider myself lucky there.
That's like I guess a blessing and a curse, right? Like you're not arguing with people, like you have the final say, but at the same time
Hmm.
you have the final say. So however it ends up, that's all on you.
It's all on me. Yep.
So
Yeah.
we talked about it at first before we recorded, but I mean, it's a band, it's a project, it's fully there, right? Like you have a lot going on, but it seems like a lot of people thought maybe you had other members at the beginning.
Definitely a few people in the beginning were like, so who plays guitar? Who plays this? Who plays that? And I was like, me.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to ask any more questions. There's nobody else. There's one song where Aaron, my brother who I mentioned earlier, he
Uh-huh.
does like a backing scream.
Okay.
That one's called Let You Down.
Yeah.
Feels so bad that I didn't actually get his name on the credits. And he does a very short drum roll in Scorched Earth right
Nice.
before the very end.
Cool.
But other than those two songs, yeah, it's all just it's me.
And I
And
see. Go ahead. Sorry.
uh, nope, I just have a bad habit of saying "and" at the end of a
Okay.
sentence.
I see there's an E kit back there. Are you playing all the drums on each of the songs?
So not exactly.
Okay.
I play on a couple of them. I'm honestly not that great at drums.
Me
Most
either.
of my drums are programmed.
Okay.
Just because one, it's hard to get that E kit to sound the way I want it to
Yeah.
going into Logic, and two, yeah, I don't really have the limb independence or dexterity to play drums competently.
Is there anything else on your songs that is programmed, or is it just the drums?
I think it's just the drums.
Okay.
Occasionally I've used like little one-shot samples, but other than that, no.
So yeah, everything's you then.
Yeah.
That's impressive, man. Good for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course. And so the discussion that we need to have is what's the difference between a band, an artist, and a project? And this is all on you. It's all pressure on you. You have to tell
It
everybody.
really it is. Wow. I mean, generally, when I think of a band, I do think of like a multi-person project, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I use the word project, so I guess project is kind of all-encompassing for me.
Okay.
Because anybody and any group of people could start a project.
Yeah.
As long as it's like a lasting thing that you're working on, there it is. An artist, again, could be either, but like generally, when I hear artist, I think of an individual,
Yeah.
or maybe like two or fewer.
See, a lot of people like, yeah, can use it however you want, but some people are so specific on like, no, that's an artist, not a band. And you're like, they're playing music. That's the whole point I'm trying to get across. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, you can call what I do a band, project, artist. It's all
So,
right.
so now I totally get when an artist, an individual, makes music and they, put out an album, and then they go tour that, right? And they have a
Mhm.
band, but it's still underneath the artist name. But now there's on the opposite side when there is a front man and they name the band after themselves, but there's a whole band. What are your thoughts on that second? Is that acceptable?
It's a little pretentious. I'll say it. I'm just going to come right out the gate with that. It's a little bit pretentious, but look, Michael Jackson, like
Yeah,
Prince, those two
yeah,
absolutely could do that, and I don't feel any sort of way about it because listen to them.
yeah.
but,
But also,
and,
Michael Jackson switched up who he performed with all the time. So it wasn't
mm-hmm,
like it was the Michael Jackson band. It was Slash, right? Like he had different
right.
guitarists at all time. So that's different, right? Like it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go play with Michael Jackson. Plus, it's
Yeah,
Michael
okay, you know
Jackson.
what? Fair enough.
You can do whatever you want.
But like, I'll call one out in particular where I'm like,
Here we
man, that's
go.
pretentious.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a hot take, I know it, but the Dave Matthews Band, man, like,
No, that's a
what are you
great
doing, Dave?
example. That is a wonder. That is the most probably best example. Yeah. I mean, it does say Dave Matthews Band. Band is in there.
Yeah, but it's Dave Matthews. Like,
Yep.
that. Come on, man.
And
What
I
about the other three?
I won't leave you out there so everybody thinks that you're on your own. I did start by saying if you're a solo artist that has a band and it's like a whole group thing and you name it yourself, that is pretentious. I said that before we started recording, so I won't leave you out there. Like I completely agree, and I have a really hard time with that because
I
I
appreciate the
think,
life raft.
well, I just think like as somebody that will never get credit for anything that I've done because I sit in the back and I hit things. Like, dude, you gotta give the band like credit where it's deserved, and like people just don't because they're like, well, I'm the one that made it.
And you know what? It's funny you should say that. When I was working as a sound engineer, I was mostly doing front of house, and the bands that I liked working with the most, who were generally the nicest, the front man of that band took the time to announce who each of the people around on stage were with
Yeah,
them.
and that's nice.
Yeah, I always really appreciated that because yeah, for a while I was for the record, I didn't start doing vocals until this year.
Nice.
Um, I was always sort of either playing, yeah, a more rhythm based instrument, whether it was guitar, bass, or keys.
Yeah.
So I am also kind of used to not getting a little less with guitar, but definitely with bass and keys.
Okay. Definitely.
So I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate though the guys that take the time to shout out everybody else.
Hell yeah.
And like I get it because sometimes it is just your music and then you have a band perform. Like this is a really funny example. A few years ago, I saw Kesha. The band that
Mm,
she had tour with her was incredible. Like whoever those guys are, if they're playing somewhere else, I will go watch them because they were phenomenal. And it made her
hell yeah.
music way more listenable for me. Like it wasn't pop music anymore; it was rock music with a pop vocalist, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
the tour where she opened for Macklemore, and like holy cow, I was just blown away with how good they were and how it just brought her music to a different level, and I loved it.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. And yeah, like a good live band really can make all the difference. It's true.
Yeah, for sure. I want to go back to your music. I would probably guess that this comes from the song that I keep talking about, but I was playing your music the other day of driving. I heard a line that I liked, so I did a little quick screenshot. And it says, "If Judgment Day is coming, shouldn't we rehearse?" I love that line.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that I think I was like agonizing over how to end that chorus
Okay.
for probably a good week and a half.
Uh-huh.
Like, and like, yeah, that just hit me. I was sitting in this chair. I was just like, I think I was like doom scrolling or something. And I was
Yeah.
like, this feels like rehearsal for Judgment Day or some shit like that. And like, I was like, ooh, that's the line.
There
Ooh,
it
there we
is. Yeah.
go.
You had your 13 cavities moment. I love
Exactly.
it.
This is
That
also not the worst title for the episode, although it just feels like a plug for the band.
But yeah, that's my favorite line. I really like that. Is there any more like meaning or depth that you want to talk about behind it?
I mean, that song, You did mention it falls under the category of screamo, and I think you hit it right on the head when you pointed out that line because like I was feeling kind of just completely hopeless at that time for like where we are as a society,
Mhm.
and just wanted to get that aggression out and make sure that it like it translated that like things are not okay right now, you know?
Yeah.
And if it did that, then that really does that makes me happy. It means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. What would you say is one of your favorite lines or favorite songs that you've put out thus far?
I don't know that I have a favorite line. And again, this is kind of like choosing between children. I know that we're not going to kill any of them, but like one of my more recent releases, it's called Giger's Song, excuse
Mhm.
me. It's sort of like it's got like almost like a Static X kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Um with like some dubstep elements and like that aggressive metalcore feel. Um and I feel like it sort of does encompass my sound pretty well.
Cool.
Uh so that would probably be my current favorite next to one that hasn't been released yet, so I won't get into that.
But when it comes out, you can tell us so we can let everybody else know.
Yeah, it'll be the title track on the new album. So
Cool.
that,
Okay.
yeah,
There we go. That's all we need to know. Now we know what the song is.
hell yeah.
It's called Title Track. Where did you get that name
Yep,
from?
that's
Title
it.
Track. Very unique.
Well, I did a lot of research and
I do think it would be fun to make like an album, just a super sarcastic album, and call it the self-titled album, like literally call it self-titled, and then have the first track be called track two, and the second track be called title track. Like just
yes,
the most dumb thing, but I would love to do that.
I love that. You know
And
what? Collab has started.
perfect.
I'm already starting the writing process.
We can call the band name like TBD or yeah, I don't know if that's been taken yet, but something silly that works with it. Acting title or acting name or yeah, I'm getting
Yeah, we are working title.
yeah, there you go, exactly. So you have a website for the band that or the project, excuse me, just kidding. But your website is up, it's out, it looks really good. How long has it been up and active?
So probably about 2 weeks now. It's
Okay,
actually been active, and we've been adding stuff to it pretty consistently since then. Um, yeah, I would say probably a week and a half, 2 weeks.
we'll share the link, but when
Eh,
people click that link, other than it, you can access your OnlyFans from there. But other than that, like what's
Yep,
on,
yep.
yeah, what's on the website? What will people see when they click on it?
So they will be able to see one. It has the links to all of my music streaming pages. It has uh, blah, 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 future releases and affiliated artists, which is a section that I'm very excited about. It's all of the visual and other artists that I have worked with so far. There will be a few new additions in the next few days of the musical variety, but currently it's mainly just the visual artists I've worked with.
Okay,
I do want to shout them out real quick.
go for it.
Uh, Lyrex Visuals or Lyrex Studio, who does all of my animation stuff. He put out a music video for me for the song Don't Blink. It is beautiful and it is available on YouTube right now. Um, Leviathan Spirit, he goes by on Instagram, but his name I believe is Sean. He is doing most of my covers and stuff like that. The album art he did my logo as well. Um, but the album art for the album coming out on the 31st, most of the work was by him. It was a drawing that I sent him that he did most of the coloring, did all of the typography and all that. Just definitely check him out. He has some incredible stuff as well. And finally, Project Nova, not finally, second to last, Project Nova, who is the guy, he goes by Yusuf. He is the guy that developed the site. Absolutely just incredible web designer and a really good eye. He's done a lot of the artwork that's on the site as well, so you can see all that there. There's links to all of their pages on the website, so you can get to them from there. And finally, is Drip State, and they are actually a clothing brand. A friend of mine who lives in Colorado, she makes just absolutely fantastic clothing that is like just really cool. It's like I can't really describe it. It's damn, I thought I had some of it here.
But it is on the
Definitely
website.
check out the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are cool
So
shirts, like they are
again,
there.
yeah. So yeah, if you haven't already, definitely check them out. All four of those artists, absolutely incredible designers, really talented. Just yeah, make sure you give them a little bit of your time because your eyes deserve it.
I do appreciate that you have like your collaboration there. Like you're not just like, oh yeah, the other people help me out with it. Like no, you're making it very upfront. These are the people. This is who did what, and you're on your website sharing that. So like that's really cool. Good for you.
Yeah, man, it means so much to me that someone would want to do it at all.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if we work together, you can bet that I'm going to give you a shout out for it.
Hell yeah, I love that. Good for you. Now, on your Instagram or anywhere else that your videos may be up, you said on the website that you have some sound pack music, right?
Hmm.
And I think you said that some of them are free. Is that correct?
They're royalty free.
Royalty free. Okay. So you pay
Yes.
for them, but they're royalty free. I like that. So what's
Yes.
all included in your sound pack music?
So you will get samples from the songs listed. So right now, actually, the signal will be up there, I believe, in the next week or so. But we have one for the descent, one for kindness or weakness, and one for. I have to go to the website. Sorry. I have to remind myself what we did there.
Look at this guy plugging his own website.
Uh,
Let me just pull it up real quick.
Giger's song.
Okay.
Can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah,
It's
the one
the
that you
one
were
that I
just
just
talking
said was
about.
my
Yeah.
favorite. So you will get drums, bass, if there is bass on the song, synth, guitar, and vocals from the song that you can use in your own music. Uh, Again, royalty free. Each of the packs are $15, but you can pay in installments of 3 installments of five.
Look at that, dude. You make it so easy. Like, that's not a bad deal at all.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
thought it seemed fair, but
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
it's nice to have that validated.
No, definitely. Because, like, yeah, if you can do the payment plan, like, who can't come up with $5 a month if you're trying to make music? Like,
Right.
who can't come up with $15 up front? Like, that's very, I want to say achievable, but it's very accessible. So
And
that's good.
and I think that art as a whole should be accessible. There's a lot of gatekeeping in the art community and music community, and like I don't want to be part of that. I want to be part of helping people feel included.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, like, in music, like, I see both sides of it. And
Yes.
it's one of the things that made me really disagree with Metallica, but more specifically Lars Ulrich back in the day when, he tried to stop file sharing music. Like, I want to hear your music, and you as an artist, you should want people to have it in front of them.
Exactly, man. And like it's like I was saying before, once you put your art out into the world, it is no longer just yours.
Yeah.
Like it's there to be shared, and I don't understand the mentality. Like I understand you want to get paid for it, I
Yeah.
do, but honestly, like the exposure alone that you're getting from all this file sharing is gonna lead to some revenue for you at some point.
Yeah.
I can only assume.
So you as a musician, trying to, like you're investing in yourself and you're trying to make this your thing, right?
Hmm.
How can people support you as a musician, or how can people in general support other musicians if it's not from necessarily music itself?
Well, I do have links to PayPal and all that stuff on my Spotify page. Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, just taking the time to listen is really all I want from people.
Cool.
Like, yeah, I I appreciate people's time, and I don't I don't want to ask too much of them.
Yeah. And like I like that's very humble. It's very nice of you to say. I think myself as a fan of music, like if a band's touring, I want to go see them because one, that does put a little bit of money in their pocket.
Hmm.
If I can, I always buy two tickets, right? I bring a friend. So
Yeah.
you get somebody else in front of them, right? If I have money at the time, like if I, if I can, I buy merch, right? Like that's something else because
Hell
you're
yeah.
supporting them on tour, you're wearing their merch or, putting their sticker somewhere so other people can potentially discover it. So I think that helps musicians. But yeah, man, I have such a hard time because it's like you want to make music and get it in front of people, but you also want to find a way to be successful and, have revenue coming from there. And so it's hard when it's not necessarily from the music itself, but there's so many other ways you can support artists in that aspect, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And you kind of touched on it there, like just sharing it, one,
Yeah.
whether it's through buying merch and just having it on display for people to see or what have you. Yes, sharing it in some way, shape, or form that goes such a long way, and that means so much.
I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things about sharing music is uh, when someone's like, I don't necessarily like this genre of music. I'm like, all right, I like the challenge. Like, I'm gonna find a song from a band because like that's how you open the door, right? Because someone's
Right.
gonna be like, oh, this person has a song that I like, and then they're like, all right, let me go explore more of their music.
And then next thing you know, they're coming back to you like, I don't know why I hated that actually. I think
Yeah,
I just needed to sort of like get the palate for
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like you do have to when you're looking at bands, you do have to give like more than one song because so many
Yes.
bands have just that outlier song where it's like it's completely different. And so if you hear that, you're like, this is not for me. So at least skip. If you go to a band at their concert and you're like, I don't like this, give it another song just to see if it is, something that you might like because it's not always the
Absolutely.
same sound.
Yeah. And I mean, that can go for just about anything because like you could say the same for like a TV series. You
Yeah,
wouldn't just watch one episode and make an assumption. Well,
yeah,
maybe some shows, but like
yeah, yeah,
there's a you should always like, at least give it a chance. Give it one, two, or three.
for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. And that brings up the point. Like, what's your favorite Barney episode?
Oh, damn. Oh, you got me. That's a cold
Yeah.
sweat.
You got to give Barney more than one episode, man. Barney's good.
I know that at a certain age I would have agreed with you wholeheartedly, but it has been a little while.
That will be one of our songs in our working title band is we're gonna sing about Barney.
Barney, yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. I'll have to do some research, watch some episodes of the source material so that I don't make a total fool of myself.
No, I say don't. Let's go for the total fool. We'll have Peaches on guest vocals on one of the songs. I like this. This is
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
She
So,
seems excited.
well, she better be because she's guest vocaling on one of the upcoming biggest bands ever. Whoa, easy, Peaches, easy.
Oh my god. Okay.
So, um, I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything else I want to ask you. But is there anything else that you want to make sure we talk about before we wrap things up?
Um, I'm gonna look at my notes because I don't know if I.
I should have asked earlier when I talked about it, but who has the best cheesesteak out there?
As a Philadelphian, I'm gonna get myself in trouble
Nope, it's your
answering this
opinion.
question. So it used to be called Talk of the Town cheesesteak. It goes by another name now. It's on Broad Street, and I can't remember the name, but
Okay,
it's like literally a mile north of the stadium, uh, on Broad Street.
okay,
Yeah, that's the place.
that's the one right there.
Either there or Oregon Steaks, which is on Oregon Avenue. So
Perfect.
really easy to remember.
So I mean, like, I'm totally like a tourist when it comes to your city, right? Like, that's all I know. Is there anything else that Philadelphia is known for that like people should know about or check out?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool places to check out in Philly, but like honestly, just little hole in the wall venues are the most fun.
Hell yeah.
There's places all up and down Sansom Street and like around that Center City area. And all you really have to do is walk around for a little while after 7 p.m. and you'll find something.
And
Uh, there,
you
yeah.
did share a video like of you guys walking around checking out some stuff, so people can check that out too.
Oh yeah. So we went to Philly Eight's Thrift, and that was such a blast. That place is crazy. It's like the punk version of a thrift store.
Nice, I like that. That's sweet.
So yeah, for those of you who are in the area, definitely check them out. They're fucking awesome.
And I took from you looking at your list, was there anything else that you wanted to make sure we got
Uh,
to?
I think you got it all for. We got everything that I could think of for now.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad we got to do this. Thank you for taking the time.
I appreciate you. Yeah, and thank you again for having me on.
I will definitely share your music as it comes out. And right now there is music, so people, you can. Xander is in Synchronic. Check them out. But yeah, thank you very much, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, man. You too.